Amid all the banking turmoil that occurred in the first quarter of 2023, SoFi's bank actually added billions of dollars in deposits. So, what's driving that deposit growth for SoFi Bank? Well, that's precisely the question that a JP Morgan analyst had for SoFi CEO on May 24th. So, in this video, I'm going to review that question and answer and provide insights into what that could mean for SoFi stock investors. So, let's get right into it. So, here's the question. The JP Morgan analyst saying deposit growth has been on a tear as of late. What's driving that growth? And so CEO Anthony Noto of SoFi jumps in to say that a key to our strategy is building a primary relationship with the member so that we can be there and we can be trusted and be there when they make those decisions. And one way to drive that primary relationship is by having someone's direct deposit, which is true, right? If the bank is where you send your primary direct deposit, that's going to be the bank that you're going to use most often, right? Because that's where your paycheck is going into. So if you've got bills to pay, you're going to use that account to pay the bills. And if you want a debit card to spend money on when you go to fill up gas or whatever your regular activities, that's the debit card you're going to use because that's where your direct deposit is going into. That's where your money is already flowing to. So for that reason, SoFi has prioritized being the primary direct deposit bank for customers, right? It's emphasized that. And in fact, one of the things that they offer is a very high interest rate on savings and checking accounts. Very high rates. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit here. But in order to qualify for that very high rate, SoFi makes you set up a direct deposit with them. So they put out that carrot saying, hey, come to us. We'll give you industry leading interest rates on your deposits. But oh, by the way, in order to qualify, you got to set up a direct deposit with us. And so that's a huge win-win situation for SoFi and the customer in that SoFi becomes your primary bank, the one that you use most often, and the customer gets an industry-leading interest rate when the leading banks today, like Bank of America and JP Morgan, offer you almost zero in terms of what your savings account earns. Compare that to SoFi, and I'll show you this here. SoFi offers you a 4.2% APY on your savings and $2 million worth of FDIC insurance, which is higher than the usual. And they'll give you up to $250 when you set up direct deposit. So SoFi is working hard offering promotions, incentives to try and get customers to move their money over to SoFi, and it looks like it's working, right? It looks like it's working when you consider that in the last quarter there was all that banking turmoil and SoFi added billions of dollars in deposits. It appears that this strategy is working. Another reason why SoFi is working hard to become that primary bank is that then that relationship gives them insights into everything else they're doing so that person can get their money right. And this might feel a little invasive, but when you're with a bank, they can see your transactions, right? They can see where you're spending money, how much credit card bills you have, how much student loan payments you have, and they can use that data to offer you products, right? They can look at your student loan payments and say, oh, you're paying this much for student loans. Why don't you come with SoFi, refinance your student loan with us? We'll give you a competitive rate. And so it's another advantage of having a customer use you as the primary bank. So in the first quarter, they grew direct deposit. They grew their direct deposits by 2.7 billion, and they continued to see very strong trends in the second quarter. They told investors that they expect to add about $2 billion per quarter in deposits, and they're on track to do that. And to make that even more impressive is that those members are very high FICO scores in the 715 range. So not only is SoFi attracting billions of dollars in deposits, but those customers that are coming to SoFi have very high FICO scores. And so that means if you have a very high FICO score, it makes it less likely that these customers are going to default on their loans. It makes it more likely that they have a high personal income, which means more spending, which means more revenue and profits for SoFi. So overall, SoFi did an excellent job in the first quarter attracting billions of dollars in deposits, while some banks of similar size truly struggled. All right, so that's all I've got in this video. But if you want more analysis, I've got several videos coming out on SoFi. So stay tuned, subscribe, and you'll get more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.